Well, it's Monday night. Decided to spend a little time on the Echophone. I've been sitting here for about an hour puzzling through this mess. It's not all original like I thought it was. There's been a lot of work done on it. Things like this capacitor was added. This is not in the schematic. Somebody wanted to increase the capacitance on the B plus line, probably to quiet it down. So they added this. That's the B plus line there that branches off. So they just added it in here. But I'm finding a lot of other little things that are going to need some work. This wire here, this is coming from the audio transformer over to the headphone jack, and you can see it's bare. Not really insulated all that well. The insulation, well, it's bare. It's floating. So, things like that are going to have to be replaced. I'm going through making a list of things I'm going to have to do, and that list keeps getting longer and longer and longer before I even get the soldering iron heated up. So yeah, this is going to be quite the project. This is going to take a while, way more than a week, I think, because I just don't have the energy at the end of the day. I've spent about an hour just taking stock in it, and I think I'm done for the day. I've made my plans for where to start. So tomorrow night, I guess I'll start and do a little bit each night. Replace a few components, clean up some wiring, and so on, and just move my way through it. I'm going to start over here with the rectifier and the power circuitry, and get these old electrolytics out. These two are counted for on the schematic. This one is two. You can't see where I'm pointing, can you? Yeah, you can. This cap here is two capacitors in one, and then this one is another. And looking at the schematic, I have located those. 1, 2, 3. Those are the electrolytics. This extra one, like I said, was added in. So 40 plus 20. So he had a total of 60 where there was 47. Well, actually, no, that's got the resistor between it. Yeah, no, 47. So yeah, it's a mess. Oh my gosh. There's been people in here making changes throughout the years. I'm going to have to clean a lot of it up. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Just taking stock, figuring out what needs to be done. I'm going to do a lot of the wiring with the chassis still in the case, because the case makes a nice convenient stand to protect the underside of the chassis, keep it up off the bench, and raises it up a little bit, which makes it easier for me to work on. So I'm going to do most of the wiring before I even take the chassis out. Get all this cleaned up and rewired. And then probably the last thing that I'll do would be to take the chassis out, clean the switches, and replace these rubber grommets that suspend the chassis and before I even power it up. And then I got to go and borrow a isolation transformer. I don't have one, but I'll need one to do the alignment. Anyway, that's where we're at. Just exploring and examining and figuring out what needs to be done, and there's a whole lot that needs to be done. So, well, it's Saturday. Been working some more on the Echophone. I've made quite a bit of progress. Most of the capacitors have been replaced now. In fact, nearly all of them that needed to be replaced. Let me show you the carnage. There's all the old parts that I've taken out. Wires and caps that I've replaced so far. These are all Nishikon capacitors that I put in there. Just a couple of disc ceramics that fit properly and where they weren't RF sensitive. They're fine for bypass caps, by the way. Power section over here I've been working on this morning. I replaced one of the power resistors here, the 733 ohm, with a couple of 5 watt resistors. The original was a 3 watt, so there's plenty of current capacity there, and those shouldn't get too warm. I've ordered a 7.5K to replace this one. This is a 7.5K 5 watt carbon resistor. and it's already up to almost 800, well, almost 8K. So it's really risen in value, which means it'll run even hotter and it'll decay faster, so it needs to be replaced. So I got to replace that, and then figure out where to put this filter cap that's going to go in here. Been hunting around for ground for that. Got a fuse holder in for the AC line, which is going to come in, go along the bottom edge of the chassis. Hot's going to come up here to the power switch, and I've already wired the other side of the power switch back to the fuse block. So we'll put a fuse in here and fuse the incoming hot. So that's an improvement. What else? I've still got to replace this transformer wire, which is bare and poorly spliced down to the existing transformer. All these transformer wires have been spliced, and some of them were okay. One I just shortened the run to make it a little cleaner, and the actual splice is good. But this one is bare, so I'm going to pull it back through and resplice the wire, bring it back out and connect it back up. And I'm going to replace this, goes up to the headphone speaker switch, which is spliced and taped with masking tape. So slowly cleaning it up. It's making a little more room in here without all those big wax capacitors in there. The other thing I'm doing over here on the antenna connectors, the antenna wires from the coil come directly to these connectors. And it was a tip on Mr. Carlson's video, which is a good tip. I'm going to put capacitors in line right here to DC block and protect these coil windings, because these windings are really, really small wire, and if they ever failed, you're not going to be able to successfully rewind this coil. You're going to end up looking for a whole replacement part and hoping somebody parted out an Echophone. So any DC voltage that gets applied to the antenna terminals at any point, from a shock, a spark, somebody somehow screwing up and putting power on an antenna, could burn out the windings in the coils. So I'm going to put DC blocking caps in here. What else? Got to clean the switches yet, and the controls. Power switch is good. I already tested it. And then cosmetically clean up the case a little bit, but I'm going to need to borrow a isolation transformer so I can align it. Hopefully I'll get to that this coming week and get it aligned. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to mount a ground lug over here somewhere to ground this side of the shield on the audio cable. Minor stuff. Well, there's one ground lug right here. Maybe I can utilize that and just attach it. I might even use that for the ground point for this filter cap. I don't know. Got to figure that out yet. So, made a great deal of progress this week. We're getting close. One more resistor, one more capacitor, a couple of wires, and the grommets. Clean the switches, and I'll be ready to start alignment. And we'll be almost done. So I'm hoping to get her finished up this week. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.